There has been a historic change in Tamil Nadu's electoral map. Actor Vijay has emerged victorious. However, Vijay is short of majority. Rahul Gandhi has spoken to Vijay and congratulated him on his victory. What does Vijay's victory mean for Tamil Nadu and how Congress sees the change? I'm joined by Congress MP from Sivaganga, Karti Chidambaram, on this seismic change that are affecting the politics of the state. Thank you so much, Karti, for joining me. And let me begin this conversation by asking you what happened, Karti. Was this change anticipated? I know you use the word the secular cut.
See, I definitely anticipated the TVK to get sizable votes, but what I did not anticipate is the momentum would have kept up in the last week and the surge. That I did not anticipate. I had an internal calculation of how many percentage of votes they would get, but they exceeded it by a few number of percentage points, and that started converting seats. But there was a chatter on the street. There was a lot of social media chatter. Anecdotal conversations definitely pointed towards that. But conventional political thinking, conventional surveys, conventional feedback from party workers did not reflect this. And that is where the shortcoming was. And that's what is worrying me a little bit more about our own political mechanism. And there was a need for change, and that he tapped into that. And people trusted him. In this election, candidates were completely irrelevant. In fact, were completely agnostic of who the candidate was. The vote was for him personally and for his symbol. And it didn't really matter who the candidate was. In fact, in most constituencies, the vast number of people who voted would not recognize the candidate unless the candidate start traveling and start making themselves familiar. So this was a very different election, and he also was a very unconventional politician. He did not address the press, did not give long speeches, only did large concert-style roadshows in about 7 or 8 times, never introduced the candidates. So I think more than anything else, it was a presidential style victory for a person whom people seem to trust and who believe will be the change maker here.
Karti, a lot of people are comparing it with MGR. Is it correct?
The trajectory of MGR and him were very, very different. And MGR was a very seasoned politician. And that's where I think we all made a mistake of assessing him. We thought that, you need to be seasoned like MGR, mark your years, be part of organization, be part of legislature. Then MGR broke away from an existing political party, inherited a huge political machinery, backed by his fan club, then won the elections. But this is not... what happened now? I mean, he did not have an alliance with anybody. He did not have any kind of an organization on the ground. Did not have vast political experience. MGR was a campaigner for the DMK in every election before for more than 20 years, where he traveled around the state. There were people he knew on the ground. So this was that's where I think we misassessed him. We think that yes, in order for him to succeed, go through a journey like MGR or even a journey like Jayalalitha. But he did what NTR did. But that was also a very different era. And here, he just bypassed conventional political structures and just directly communicated with the people, particularly through social media, and made them trust him. But most importantly, what I found is that there was his canvassing style. There were induced campaigns within homes, not public campaigns. I think that made a crucial difference. I've not seen this before. I've not seen campaigns within households. And that campaigns actually paid off. That's something which I have learned from this election.
You had a sense of it. You told me that he will at least get 20% of the votes. Then why didn't Congress, go in for an alliance when he was offering so many seats?
Yeah, I've always believed that he will get significant votes, and I kept revising it. And as people say, why didn't you know the number on the first step? But that's not how politics works. You keep assessing and reassessing as things unfold. But I thought he will peak at a level because there won't be any momentum beyond it, because he does not have known candidates and he does not have a ground game. I thought he will not be able to go beyond, say, 25. In fact, the maximum I gave him in my internal notes was 28%. But I did not anticipate him crossing 28%. And the number I had for him was 1.4 crore votes throughout the state, but he actually ended up getting 1.7. I had a reason for why I came up with 1.4, and it was communicated with 2 people internally. But I did not anticipate this 1.7. So that surge is something which we all missed. But I said this is missed by all surveys. Even post-election surveys didn't tell us that. and our booth workers, even post-election, did not tell us that in their own booths that the TVK was the number one political party. That's what surprises me, and that's what disappoints me.
Is this AAP
And
sort
why
of...
did we not tie up with them? See, yes, there was a lot of speculation and there was a lot of people who wanted this alliance to happen. I don't deny it. Everybody was open to various options because the Congress has not been in office for more than 60, no, nearly 60 years.
Yes.
But when wide consultations were held with MPs, MLAs, AICC functionaries, Congress functionaries, the consensus was that it's very difficult to break an existing relationship which we had with the DMK for 22 years. And while we are dependent upon them and are cooperating with them in parliament. And what is the reason we will decide to break that alliance especially when during the last 5 years, our MLAs have not really taken on the government on any issue in the assembly. So what will be the excuse to break that alliance? And secondly, we should have also been prepared to criticize the government and the DMK along with Vijay. Were we ready to do that? And was our leadership willing to do that? So there's wide consultations held. And after considering everything, everybody bought into this idea. So to suddenly to criticize now saying, you missed the opportunity. Yes, the opportunities were evaluated. Then a consensus was taken. MPs, I keep telling people, if people were so unhappy with the decision, a 1996 would have happened. In AICC thrust upon a decision in 1996 on the Congress here, which says Mr. Narasimha Rao said that we have to have an alliance with Jayalalitha. People did not like it and they broke away. But in this case, there was no such rebellion. Everybody bought into the idea. In fact, when negotiations with DMK were happening, everybody was pushing for more seats. And then when the seats were given, they were fighting for allocation of those seats. Then after the seats were allocated, they were clamoring for their candidates to contest those seats. And then even post that, we had a Rajya Sabha election where we fielded a candidate and we got him elected on the strength of the DMK. So how can we say that we should have broken this alliance when we are traveling with them so much?
You yourself told me that a lot of young people are attracted to Vijay. Is this a Gen Z vote of Tamil Nadu? And
yes,
secondly,
I think
what does it mean for that Dravidian politics?
It's not a negation of Dravidian politics because I think Vijay himself is not negating Dravidian politics. I mean, his icons are Dravidian leaders. I don't know how he's going to differ from Dravidian politics. I think people wanted a change from the status quo parties. They wanted a change from DMK and ADMK. And they were always wanting that change for many years. Many people tried to tap into that market, but they couldn't succeed. Vijay did not succeed. Moopanar did not succeed. So many people Vaiko did not succeed. But here we suddenly had a movie star, larger than life movie star, whom everybody was familiar with, who everybody implicitly trusted. And he was able to tap into that sentiment. So this is a negation of the DMK and the ADMK brand of politics. But what his politics will be, only time will tell. I don't know. Because he's got many people from the DMK and the ADMK who are members of his party now. So how different are they going to be? I don't know. But we have to give him a chance. He has to have a fair run, and the mandate is for him to.
What should Congress be doing now?
See, the Congress first, we must strengthen our party. Our party has to be strong. I mean, while we can rue about missed opportunities, we must also see why we missed that opportunity. We should organizationally be strong. We must raise local issues. We must talk about local issues. We shouldn't immediately become, while we were fanboys to the DMK, we shouldn't immediately become fanboys to the TVK. That's what I fear. We should be an independent political party going forward. And unless we are an independent political party, people won't trust us. Otherwise, we'll always be dependent on some other dominant force.
What's the big picture you get from the results that have come in India, Karti? The way BJP
I actually haven't paid too much attention because I've been too caught up with this. I'm very happy that we have won in Kerala. I mean, the result in Bengal is very surprising. The scale of the victory is surprising to me. It also shows the relentlessness of the BJP. And we also have to see whether the SIR affected that result because there are a lot of people have been disenfranchised. See, we have not had those kind of complaints in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, but there have been significant complaints and legal challenges in Bengal, and one must assess whether that exercise, whether it has been done fairly, if it has been done unfairly, why has it aided the BJP? And Assam, of course, I think has gone reasonably on expected lines.
Karti, a lot of people didn't give a thought to AIADMK, but their performance too has been very, very surprising.
In fact, they have an existential crisis. Now they have lost 4 elections on the trot. They have lost 2 parliament elections and 2 assembly elections under the leadership of Edappadi Palaniswamy. And I think his leadership will be under threat. I won't be surprised if a section of the ADMK breaks away and merges with the TVK. Because they will now, see, because the ADMK always likes a larger-than-life leader, especially coming out of the silver screen. And they will now see him as the next MGR when they're seeing a larger-than-life leader. So I actually foresee the ADMK splitting and a significant part of the ADMK going and merging with the TVK and seeing him as the natural heir of the of MGR and Jayalalitha.
You said that, he has not opposed the ideals of the Dravidian politics, but if you look at what he did after the voting took place, he went to Sai Baba temple, then he went to a church, then he went to some other temple, then he went to a dargah, and he continued doing so. One program was cancelled, which is very different from the way MGR,
No,
Jayalalitha,
that's not true.
Karunanidhi.
That's not true. MGR and Jayalalitha were ardent believers and went. In fact, MGR went to the Moogambike temple very often, and everybody knows that Jayalalitha was very ritualistic and believed in and was a God and a great believer. She went to temples also. So this is a very erroneous assumption to think that the Dravidian politics negates religion or the belief in God. That's not true at all.
But then, Karti, if I say that you have made this point in terms of it does not negate the politics, what politics does then Vijay represent, apart from the fact that people wanted to do away with the regular politics, which you just said? What does he represent?
I really don't know. It's just the people wanted a change, and he was the symbol for the change. But what he will do, what will be the specifics?
Then how did you sense that he'll get more than 20% of the vote? How did you sense? You told me that 2 months ago that he'll get more than 20%.
There was a lot of angst among younger people, particularly among the subaltern sections of society, and among younger people. There was a little bit of restlessness, and urban people there was restlessness, and I could hear it all the time. And it was there in social media and even in casual conversation. The only thing is the structured political outfits did not sense it, and they did not measure it, and they did not report it. No political party of functionaries even called this after the polling. Even after the polling, in fact, in the areas I worked in, our party workers and alliance workers did not sense the kind of votes he got on a booth-to-booth level. I think there is a huge gap between political structures and what people do. And I think the difference this time, as I said earlier, has been this micro campaigning within households. I think that we did not sense that.
Can there be a relationship between TVK and Congress now? Because
Congress
is falling short of a full majority, TVK.
I'm sure anything is possible in politics, and the only relationship which can never ever happen is the Congress with the BJP. Other than that, all relationships are possible for the Congress party.
Is Congress, the state Congress, open to the fact to have a sort of an alliance tie-up?
We have a very small legislative presence, and I'm sure they'll have to take the sense of them, and then AICC will take a call. As I said, there are a lot of commonalities with the TVK. I'm sure, and as you also said, that there was a lot of speculation with an alliance with the TVK before. So it's not something which is unfathomable.
Last question before I let go of you. What is your view? How can Congress in Tamil Nadu be revived? What is your idea of that roadmap?
See, I have very specifics, but I'm not too sure whether the Congress wants
I want to listen to that. I want to listen to that specific. How Congress in Tamil Nadu can be revived. What is your imagination?
Why should have tactical electoral alliances? Outside elections, we must behave like an independent political party. We must raise public issues and issues which concern the public and be vehement about it and very sharp about it, and build a strong organization and bring in some generational change in terms of thinking and in communication. It's possible to do it. But as I said, my fear is I don't think we should move from being fanboys of the DMK to becoming fanboys of the TVK. We should move away from this godlike leadership worship which of the alliance partner and be rational electoral partners.
Given a chance, if you're given the reins of the Congress in Tamil Nadu, what is the first thing
everybody knows that this is an open secret? This is a job I want. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time.
There's nothing wrong to desire a job in politics. Then, if you don't desire a job with power, then why are you in
want that job. But whether the parties want somebody like me is something, and under these circumstances, is for the leadership to take care. But it's something which I have not hid. I've made it very, very open and plain that I want the job. This is a job which I want to do. I'm at a stage in life where I think I can devote time and energy, and I think I can make a difference, and I want the job.
Lastly, what is the first thing you'll do if you get the job?
Well, I think we should, first of all, not have so many wings within the party. We have too many wings within the party. There's hardly any coordination, and nobody knows what these wings are supposed to do. What is their authority? What is their responsibility? Rationalize the party and have a clear demarcation between members and sympathizers. We confuse sympathizers as members. Members are people who are committed to the party, good or not. Sympathizers will be there during good times, perhaps vote for you, and then move away. There has to be a distinction between members and sympathizers, and I personally believe believe that even if we have 100 hardcore members per assembly segment, that's more than enough.
Thank you, Mr. Chidambaram, for joining
Thank
for
you.
this short but a very, very riveting conversation. So this was Karti Chidambaram, point blank on point, but it's time for a short break, and I'll be joined with my colleague Sabyasachi on the other side.